Hey everybody, it's Max Kulik, Mteverst here, coming at you with another video. I know I'm not at my, as you can see with my background and my two other webcams here, are right there, and right, yeah, yep, there we go. You can see I'm not at my desk, and that's because I'm not going to be doing a gaming video today. A lot of people have been asking me, you know, how, because they know that I'm, you know, I'm, you know, somewhat good at computers and stuff, and a lot of people have been asking me a lot of questions about, you know, how do you get into the computer, how do you upgrade your video card, how do you upgrade, you know, internal storage, things like that, how do you upgrade your RAM, you know, Minecraft, big question right there. Can you get more RAM? Well, the answer is yes, but there's a specific way you have to do it. So I'm going to go over a little bit about, you know, opening up a computer, seeing what's inside, what's what, how what works, and today for our wonderful star of the show, I have my my own server right here, and just to let you, so to prove to you that I'm not going to screw anything up, this is my Ubuntu server. This is the stuff that I run all my TropiCraft tests off of, and before I actually implement a new plugin or something to TropiCraft, I tested out on this guy with a VMware snapshot of the server before I actually go ahead and upload it to the official TropiCraft server, so that we can do all the testing here. Or this is for big plugins like Logblock, stuff like that. When there's a new update, I don't do it with the little ones because that would be a huge waste of time. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to open up this computer. I'm going to show you you know, a lot about, you know, what goes into a computer, like I said, what's in it, and I'm going to show you how to open it up, take everything apart. I'm going to take everything out of here, and then I'm going to put it all back together. So I'm going to probably split this up into two parts. I'm going to split it up into taking it apart and then putting it back together. I did have a request for this video, so thank you to you for that request. You know who you are, because I can't remember username off the top of my head. So I mean, I guess we'll just jump into it here. This is a standard computer. I know I said my server, but this is a standard computer that I just pretty much upgrade some stuff for it to run it as a server. So first thing on this computer, now there's a lot of computers that have this, and there's a lot of computers that don't. It's not always on computers, but I will show this to you. I gotta flip this guy around so you can see it on my cam there. If you look right here and right here, there's these little like screw tabs. You got to take those off in order to get this front plate off. So figure out what side of your computer has a front plate that can be removed, and it's going to have like two screws on the side like this. I have another screw right here and another screw right here. Get you guys closer. So there's a screw right there, and there's a screw right there, and those screws right there are not the screws you want to take off. You want to look for screws that look like, they're called thumb screws. You want to look for screws, video, focus. Probably stand so still. I'm trying to stand really still. But this is a thumb screw. If I zoom out a little bit, I might be able to see it better. Yeah, there you go. So, and then there's another one over here on the side. There's usually two, sometimes there's four. It's very rare that there is four though. So those are the two main things you're going to want to look for when you're first opening it up. Now, not a lot of computers have these. This is something I've seen that's unique to this computer case. It's got these like little tabs here that you just flip up, and this will unlock the case after you unscrew the thumb screws. So I'm just going to go ahead and unscrew the thumb screws. They call them thumb screws because they're really easy to use, and you can just unscrew them with your thumb. And then you're going to push this back, okay? So I'm going to push this towards this camera here on my right, or your left maybe, I don't know, whatever, you'll see, towards the back of the computer. So, and then this just should come off like so. I'm going to set this off to the side here. Now we're into the internals of my computer. So you can see that this is actually facing this camera, so this is upright to you when you're watching. This is the CPU fan here. You can see this like little fan. Now before you go ahead and start touching this around in your computer and looking at all the cool stuff it's got on it, make sure you ground yourself. By that I mean look around the room, try to find something like that right there. That's a metal pipe. You just want to hold on to that for a second. You don't want to, because if you have a static charge, you can really screw up your computer by statically by giving your computer a nice little shock. You know, a little shock when you got static glitches. You go up to somebody, touch them. Well, yeah, that can ruin your computer. So we have this fan. This is a CPU fan. CPU is this whole thing right here. It's actually underneath it. It's a little square that is in a socket. I'll grab one to show you. Give me 2 seconds. They come in many different sizes, shapes, speeds, pin number, pin count, and sockets. So I'm gonna show you guys one by one a few different chips here. This is a really old chip. I hold on to a few old ones for demonstrations like this. As a matter of fact, I mean, I would never draw on I would never draw on one of these ever, because they're so expensive, first of all, and because they're so you know, they're really important to the computer. This one's actually only 902 megahertz. I check the clocks on these things, go and search up their serial numbers and check the clocks, so that you can see how fast that is. On the underneath side of it, you can see it's got like these pin things on here, and these pins are actually what gets inserted into the computer. For a better look, you can see the pins there. They're gold, always. Now this is a better CPU. I don't know the exact speed on this. It's probably on here. I'm not going to be able to show you because it's going to be so small print. But there's another one. As you can see, it's got a lot more pins, and it's extremely small compared to the other one that I just showed you. CPU is used for the main processing of everything in your computer. This one's a little bit older. This is a Pentium 4 chip. And it's about the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same size as this one. But as you can see, the pin arrangement is very different. That's because these two CPUs here are two completely different sockets. One is designed for an older laptop, the other one's designed for a semi-old computer. And then this one right here is a piece of crap. You can just, you know, throw it around. That's why I save these chips, so I can show you guys, you know, how they work and everything when I'm doing demonstrations. And my friends always ask me, "Oh, well, how do you know so much about this stuff?" And I just say, "Well, because, you know, I take apart old computers and search it up on the internet." Anyway, back to the important part here. You can see here I have two fans, and there's a fan grate behind here for this one. I got a fan right here. This is the back fan, front fan, and then I have the CPU fan right here, and then the power supply fan here, and I believe there is another smaller one on the front here, or the front of the PSU. PSU is the power supply. CPU is the processor heatsink area thing. So this, speaking of heatsink, this metal thing that you see here, that this fan spins on, is called a heatsink. This whole thing is not your CPU. Like I said, your CPU is this little guy right here. And then you have your RAM right here. This is your physical RAM. You got this chip, this chip, this chip, and this chip. This computer has 4 RAM slots, and it can hold up I want to say 16 gigs of RAM, 16 or 8, one of the two. And this computer also has a completely removable hard drive bay. That's this guy right here, this little like square you see here. And the hard drive, you can see, is rested right here. The power supply has a lot of extra cables, as you can see. I kind of smush it all up into the top here because they have a nice handy slot for that on this computer, which is cool. And then you have the motherboard, which all this stuff is connected to, and then various wires and cables for connecting up the I/O ports for USB cables. Like you can see, I got a few right here that aren't actually connected because they're not used in this situation. So I guess I'll just start. Make sure when you're doing this, you're using the right tool. Always use the right tool for the right job. You don't want to strip out your computer's screws. So I'm not gonna. Actually, I will here. I have this. This is the kind of screw it uses, and then this is the kind of screwdriver I'm using, and they fit perfectly inside of each other without having any like extra room for the screw to wiggle around in. You want to make sure it's a nice fit for the screw, because then you won't strip the screw out and ruin it. It's very important you don't ruin your computer screws. So before I pull this whole thing out, you can see I have a cable right here and a cable right here that are both connected to the hard drive. For a little bit of a better view here, I will mount this guy right here. Come on. He doesn't want to stay, so I'll point it out. So we have this cable right here, this black one, and this cable is an eSATA cable that's, oh no, I'm sorry, is a SATA cable that's connected right there. Then you have this guy right here, and, oop, my thumb's in the way. This cable right here where you see these orange wires, this is the power. So I will try to get my webcam to, there we go, I got it. Okay, so then there's a little tab on the top here. I'm not going to move the camera so it's not shaky, but we're going to remove, we're going to disconnect that. So this guy right here. And then the power one doesn't have any pins on it, so, or light connection holder thing, so we can just remove that. Now that we have those removed, I'm going to pull out some of the wires here that I got smushed in there. A lot of them, as you can see. This power supply is a 1000 watt gaming power supply. I use it for my server just because it's very powerful. So then I have a tab right here. I think the top video you can see it. Yep, you can see this tab right here for the metal guy. You can see it on both cameras actually. On mine, I'm going to pull that down and then just unslide this. The tab, a lot of computers won't have this, but this one does, just to save room and be compact and all that good stuff. So then now we have our hard drive bay. I'm not going to bother unscrewing the entire hard drive. Maybe I will because I'm feeling nice. So I got the hard drive in here, and to remove the hard drive, all you have to do is move your camera back to the right spot where you originally had it so people can see what you're actually doing. There's going to be some screws. This will go for any computer except for the Lantec Air computer case, because that computer case is a boss and has no screws. It's all clips. It's like a computer, like, gamer's life. Like, it's the best thing you could ever have because it is so easy to take apart, remove, and put better stuff into and upgrade. You don't have to deal with all of the screws and clips and crap and shit, and yeah, it just makes your life very easy. So just finish unscrewing this guy right here, and then we can carefully remove the hard drive from the hard drive bay. Now make sure that you're being careful with this. You don't want to drop it. You don't want to do any like major you don't want to dump it around, because this thing's got really thin wafer discs in it. They're very similar to a CD. Only difference is the whole thing's metal, and it's very fragile. If you drop your hard drive, you're just say goodbye. Most cases. So now we're going back into our computer. I'm gonna take some of these wires I got here. There's extra wires, and I'm just gonna kind of push them off to the side so that they're not in my way while I'm working. I got a fan right here that's connected to this. We could just pull this apart. Nothing too difficult about pulling that apart. It's just a tiny little clip. Okay, so now I can actually remove this eSATA cable. Remember where it came from, because you'll want to make sure you put it back in the same spot. And then we can go ahead and kind of unwind this cable here, and we can start removing some of the power cables. So this I'm going to get a close-up for. Should get a third cam so I can just switch between close-up. Carefully position the camera so you can see what I'm doing. There you go, right there. Those yellow. I'm sorry this camera's so bad. I don't have much better to work with, but you can see I'm moving the cable right now. There's a clip on there that you pull out. Don't grab the capacitors and the board because that would be bad. And there is your 100% removed. You can't see it in the light like that cable. So we can just push that off to the side like all the other ones. And the big one right here. This is your main computer power right here. That one right there. And same thing for that one. There's going to be like a little clip thing. I can probably show it to you on the side here that you're going to have to remove, detach. Come on. Why are you being a pain? There we go, right there. There's that clip. You're going to push that top of the clip in on the black part, and the whole thing will just come out. So I'll try to do that. Okay. So then I'll put this back up here, because there aren't very much more we have to disconnect as far as that goes. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, so then we're just going to pull this out over the side like all the other cables. So then this is what your computer should look like. Start looking empty and stuff. Now for this PSU, in my case, it's actually in the top here. I have to remove the top of the computer here and slide it off just like I did the back side to get this out. Now a lot of smaller computers that companies try to keep the computer compact, you'll have to do but for a lot of computers you don't have to. It will just be mounted on top, and that's for most gaming PCs too. So on the front here of the computer, there's going to be a couple screws. There's one right there that you can see. I'm just going to go ahead and put my screwdriver there and take her out. Nice thing about computers is when they do use screws, they try to keep most of the screws the same. And most computers, they change over the years, of course, because a lot of older computers use a star bit, and star bits are just a pain, so they changed it. Now you don't need to remove this one right here. Actually, for this one we do, because I forgot that my computer completely removes. For you, you probably won't have to. For me, I have to. So I'm going to stand this guy up. And we're just going to go ahead and remove this screw. This side has tabs as well. Actually, one of them is missing, just from time gone by. This is I use this a lot, so. Okay, so then take the clips off, and I'm going to slide the top. This actually comes off with the top, and we can just kind of wiggle it off. It should separate once I get it off. Come on. Come on. Come on, computer. Come on. There we go. Okay. Had to pull the lid over. So then I'm going to move this guy off to the side. Alright. So, we now have the top of the computer exposed. This is the PSU, shiny guy. It's kind of cool actually. Unfortunately, it doesn't work in my gaming PC. Don't ask me why. I have yet to figure it out. So now all the screws are removed because we removed those other screws. And this thing we should be able to push it back. After I move some of these cables out of the way, I've got some Molex guys in the way. And we should just be able to push it up and pull her out. Like that. Now don't go yanking on this thing. You gotta make sure that all the cables are disconnected and that you have nothing left. Once you get this out of your computer, it's pretty much smooth sailing from here, because the PSU, it just takes up so much space considering the fact that it's got so much wires, it's so huge. And yeah, I'm actually going to show you a little bit about a PSU. This PSU probably has everything you could ever want on it. It's a 1000 watt power supply, and it's pretty kick-ass. Like I said, I have this in my gaming machine until it stopped working for it. I don't really know why. It's weird. When I turn my game PC on, it wouldn't turn on. So this is a Be Quiet PSU. Great brand, highly suggested for PSUs. I think they make some fans that are really big, 120 millimeter fans that are really big and quiet. So on here we have a few different connectors. We have these little guys right here. I'm going to show you on this cam. We have these little guys right here, and these are for plugging fans into. They have the same style They have the same style connector, just the male version of it. And then we have these guys right here, and the same wire. And these plug into a lot of the older computer, like the CD drives, DVD drives, DVD drives. They plug into older hard drives, and those cables are called Molex. Then you have oh, that fell. Then you have this guy right here, which is your main power. It's got a little, newer ones will have a little 4 thing, a little +4 connector that is like detachable for computers that don't use it. Then you have these blue ones, which are 6 pins. These are designed for like the graphics cards that you have in your computer that require extra power. We have some black versions of the Molex cable, or not black. Don't take that as a racist. It's just the color. I'm so sorry. and then we have these thinner ones here, which are also power. We pulled this off of the hard drive earlier. These are called SATA power. So these will power your SATA hard drives or any other SATA accessories you have inside of your computer. And those are the basic connectors that you will have on your standard power supply, or PSU, if you want to be fancy. So then I'm going to take this guy, it's significantly lighter now, and I'm going to set it back down. This time I'm going to have it facing me so that I can see what I'm doing, and I'll re-angle the camera so that you can get a better view. Alright, so this guy is actually going to come back over here with me, and he's going to sit here and watch me do some of this. So we're going to want to pull these guys out. You could just sort of carefully like wiggle them out. They're all a bunch of different connectors. Kind of remember, if you're not good with computers, remember what's what, like what cable was plugged into what one of the pins here, because this is for the USB port, and you don't plug this back in right. Your front and back USB ports, well, your back ones will, but your front USB ports won't work correctly after these are removed and you don't put them back in right. As a matter of fact, you can like blow up your flash drive if you plug it in right. Not blow it up, but ruin it. Alright, so then there's a screw right here. You're going to want to remove all the screws that are holding the motherboard to the back. So there's a screw right here. Don't lose these screws, by the way. Unless you're like me and have a ton of them laying around. Alright, so we'll remove all the screws. There's one right here. Oh, actually, you know what? Skip that. And these are your RAM chips right here. And RAM cards, actually more like it. They have little tabs. I'll show you better on this side. They have these tabs on the side. Just push the tab down on both sides, and then your card should just come out very nicely. Your card will have a small notch in it. Better view right here. And that notch goes in a notch that is inside your bus line here. Make sure that you line those up when you put it back together, otherwise if you put too much pressure on it, you will ruin your RAM cards, and then you will not be able to run Minecraft very well, because you won't have the RAM to run Minecraft. So then go ahead and just do that with all your RAM cards. As you can see, they lift up a little bit, and then you can just slightly pull it out. Don't force anything again, because you'll easily ruin it. Get this cable out of the way. So then we can continue unscrewing a lot of this. It's hard to do. I'm trying to talk to you through the camera and watch what I'm doing at the same time, and then unscrew stuff, take apart computers. It's like uber multitask. Right, there should be, I think, 3 left in here. This one's got a lot. Sometimes a lot, 4. I was gonna do this on my gaming PC too. The problem with that is I think I explained this in my gaming setup video. It's ass backwards. Everything is screwed up. It'd take me hours to like take that thing apart completely and put it back together, and I don't want to do that. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of my time, because no other case that I know of is set up like that. I don't even think that crazy Lantec Air one that I was talking about is set up like that. Okay. Oh, one more. Almost okay. As you can see, my whole board actually just moved there when I moved this one. Okay, now we're done. Okay, so then I don't grab it by this. That's like the last thing you want to do. Kind of like use this to just kind of move it out away from the back. So you want to move it out away from where it's like the back, like stuff is on the back of the computer. Your ports and connections and stuff right there. You want to move it away from that. So in my case, I'm going to move it right, and then you can get your fingers underneath the 2 sides. Don't want to touch the top or the bottom of the board, or try not to. And now you have your motherboard out of your computer. Like that. You have your empty PC case. You don't really need to worry about removing fans and disk drives and stuff. Actually, disk drives are exactly the same as the hard drive in most case scenarios, unless you're using clips and stuff. So this is your motherboard. I'm going to show you a little bit on this motherboard, what's on here, and a little bit more information about that. So these black and blue slots here for the RAM, these are called bus slots. This is an IDE cable slot. You're going to plug your huge ass cables in. I'll actually grab one to show. Oh god, that could have been bad. I caught it. Okay, set your motherboard on a flat surface. Don't be an idiot like me who's rushing around. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a huge ass cable to show you what I'm talking about. And I'll keep talking while you're doing it, so it doesn't keep going good. I'll actually grab one of these as well to explain to you how that works, and I'll grab you an older hard drive to show you how that works, and I'll grab that's it. Okay. So I'll just work my way back over here around the stand. Alright. So I grabbed some parts here just to show you a little bit about how this works for an older computer setup. I have a lot of newer stuff, so it's different for some people. On your board, if you're using an older computer, you'll see you have that black one right there. That long one. That long one is called a IDE cable that plugs into your disk drive. There should be a blue one or a yellow one or some other color. That's your hard drive. Then you have these big cables right here that plugs into it. There's a little notch on the cable and then a slot for the notch on the jack. It plugs in like that. Show you on the bird eye cam here. It goes like that, and I'll show you on this cam up close. Looks like that. So, and then to remove that, just be careful when you're taking it out that you don't bend the pins. So try to work it out as straight as possible. You really don't want to bend those pins. Okay, so now that that's out, now that then goes to your hard drive. If you have an older hard drive, I'll show you the difference. You can see that this one has another one of those really long slots on them. That's the other end of the cable. That's where it goes. For me, I'm using a newer hard drive where it's got the shorter ones for eSATA cables, and that's where your IDE cable would typically be. Now I grabbed this guy right here. This is an older video card. I'd use this one again. I use it for demonstrations and stuff. That plugs in. I'll do bird's eye because it'd be easier to demonstrate it that way than showing it to all the cameras in this situation. Now the way this works is you have these guys right here. I have a black one and two white ones, and then I have a small white one. I'll show you on here because it's a lot better quality. Right here. This guy, this is an old video card like I said, on here, plugs in to your white ones. You can tell because you can just match up the slot on them. Again, it's got a little notch in there. Most things do. It makes your life easy. Plugs into there like that. Now, if you have a newer one, a newer video card, it's going to have a notch in the front of the card, closer to that metal piece that you see on the front of the card right here. Closest to where that little like weird angle thing is, like that thing right there. Closer to that side is where the notch will be. That goes into the black one, or it can be blue, it can be yellow, it can be red, pretty much any other color. These ones, the thicker ones, are always usually white. So that's that for this episode. I appreciate you coming and watching my wonderful videos. They're probably not wonderful. Whatever you think of them, that's all that really matters. Thanks for watching. I hope this video is informative and will help you, upgrade your computer. I'm not really talking about like RAM upgrades and stuff because that's a whole other side of it. You actually got to get into the software, figure out what RAM chip you have. You can actually do it by just looking at it. There's a label on here that shows you what you have. You can just do it that way, or you can go on the computer and do it the easy way, which I may show in the future. Wink, wink, don't judge. So, like I said, thanks for watching. I will be sure to do some more videos on this. I'm definitely, right now, probably going to start the putting back together video. as we speak. So thanks for watching. Come back again for the next video in this series, how to take apart a computer, put it back together. I don't know, I don't think I'm going to name that because that title would be incredibly long, especially to add part 2 on top of it. Again, thanks for recommending this video. You know who you are, and I will see you in the next video.